But I myself could never be a cartoon. Ever. Because a cartoon is not even real.
It has been just over 12 years since Grand Theft Auto V hit the scene, becoming one of the biggest video games of all time, bringing in record revenue and truly transforming the video game industry as we know it. But additionally, it really transformed the lives of Ned Luke, Sean Fantano, and Steven Ogg. Those are the actors that portrayed the main trio of protagonists in GTA V of Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. Now the thing is, in the years since, these individuals have done tons of panels and interviews talking about Grand Theft Auto V. Their lives were forever changed by taking on those roles that they didn't even know that they were attached to. That behind the scenes, Rockstar Games didn't tell them that they were working on Grand Theft Auto V. All they had was code names for projects. Ned Luke and Steven Ogg were told that they were working on something called Project Paradise, while Sean Fantano was told that he was attached to Project Rush. I bring up that fact specifically so you understand, one, that Rockstar really is truly secret about the nature of their game's development. Things are a little different now in this modern age with game development and the internet and all of that such. But yeah, these actors were definitely in the dark about what they were attached to and how their lives were forever about to be changed. And now, well, two of these actors, Sean Fantano and Ned Luke, have taken on the admiration and the love that they've gotten from the Grand Theft Auto community. The other, Steven Ogg, who played Trevor Philips in Grand Theft Auto V, he has made it quite clear he does not care at all about this franchise, about video games, about these cartoon characters. And yes, many times over the years he's indicated his resentment towards the popularity that he garnered from this character.
Why did you guys wanted to play in GTA?
Why? Employment. It's not always, people think, some actors have the choice, right? They're sitting at a desk with a bunch of opportunities. Most of us don't have that. You get an opportunity to work, which in this case was the GTA, or it could be a TV show or a movie or whatever. You audition for it with the hope that you get it. So a lot of times it comes down to, it's just the job you get.
And I believe this clip, which comes from a panel that was done just a couple of months ago, gives a great representation about how Steven Ogg views Grand Theft Auto V and his performance within that game, and it's the fact that he just does not care at all. Steven Ogg cares about Steven Ogg. He has said as much in interviews, his co-stars have said as much in interviews, and I'm not even saying that this is necessarily a bad thing, but he does not care about the performances, he does not care about the franchises, he does not care about the storylines or any of that. Which is why the Grand Theft Auto community, the reason why there is such disdain with him and why a lot of people have been turned off by Steven Ogg is just because of the fact that he keeps showing up to these panels. I'm sure he's getting paid handsomely to appear, but he almost seems annoyed by the questions that are being given to him. People want to know about Trevor Philips, about the storylines. That's what a lot of fans, that's their attachment to him as an actor. And he is just totally uninterested in that. And it's been that way since 2013. And that's why in that last clip I showed, there is an indication that he kind of wish he had known what he was going to be attached to. But at the same time, it almost feels like Steven's okay with taking the money that's coming in. He just doesn't want to have to care about video game cartoon characters like Grand Theft Auto V because he doesn't care at all to even play the game. He has said he has never touched Grand Theft Auto V and he has no interest to ever play the game. About 3 years ago on this channel, we first started talking about this story about Steven Ogg's relationship, or really lack of a relationship, with the GTA community. And the outrage really emerged over paid cameos that he was doing and his annoyance at individuals asking for, anything in reference to Trevor Philips.
Steven Ogg here. Trevor, I guess? You might know me as the cartoon, because it's a cartoon and I'm real life. See, fly.
That short paid cameo clip, and I do hope people understand, Cameo is a website in which you can hire actors to, give birthday requests, all kinds of stuff. Steven Ogg can reject this stuff if he wanted to, but he's accepting the money, and then he records these videos which talks down to these fans that have love for this character. And I'm sure a lot of fans just didn't expect that out of Steven Ogg. I think the problem is that differentiating Steven Ogg from Trevor Philips is very difficult because Steven Ogg himself almost comes off a little bit rude, so him just being rude sounds like he's being Trevor Philips. And if you watch any of his other cameos, even some of his recent ones the last year or so, he sounds annoyed, he sounds like he's about to complain, but it's a lot of stuff that you would kind of just get out of Trevor Philips, the character. But when he's directly asked questions about Trevor, he has had massive outbursts. In the following video, the following cameo, this is the one that got many headlines going and a lot in the Grand Theft Auto community talking about him. And it was one cameo request in which somebody asked him to make references to Grand Theft Auto 6, and Steven Ogg just did not like that at all.
Jason. Lucia. Good old Hugo Montego wanted a little message sent to you. So that's who you can thank or not thank or say, why the fuck did you do this for me? He wanted me to give you this message from Trevor, which of course I'm not Trevor. My name is Steven and I am an actor. Yeah, so I get it in a sense and I don't get it in a big sense too. You know what I'm saying with that? Because as actors you portray different characters, and it would be literally impossible for me to be a cartoon. I mean, literally impossible for me to be a cartoon. Like, I can't be. And even other characters, right? That's an actor's job. So, I need to get that off my chest. I just sometimes don't fucking understand. He did want to, Hugo wanted to make sure that you both of yous are careful in Vice City. Vice City, I don't know what that is. I think it's maybe part of the GTA thing. But anyways, it's dangerous out there. Watch out for the cops in Port Gellhorn. Don't understand that reference. And that I'll see you out there. Cause I'm a cartoon. Right? And I'll see you out there. Cause none of it's real. Right. Wow. What a fucking world. Bye.
Again, this cameo cost $140, and the individual that asked, Steven Ogg with this request, they were upset by what he had to say and the fact that he just didn't seem to care and he came off rude. He was berating really the request and he sounded annoyed. And in the years since, this perspective has only continued, and it's not like he has apologized or really explained himself all that well. He's just continued to parrot the same perspective. It's a cartoon character. I'm not a cartoon character. Why should I care? Because it's a video game. You guys like video games. I do not. And that is totally fine. That perspective, I think, is fine. If you don't like video games, fine. But don't come to these panels. Don't do these interviews. Don't take on these questions, these paid, cameos, if you do not at all care to at least even try to get into the character of Trevor Philips and at least understand the perspective and the love that is coming from fans. I will acknowledge, though, I think in the early days, Steven Ogg at least had a little bit more of an appreciation for Grand Theft Auto 5 and at least what it represented for his career. He did interviews years ago in which he said, it's sort of like Mark Hamill is forever Luke Skywalker. I might forever have this Trevor Grand Theft Auto thing, which, listen, I'm proud of it. It doesn't bug me because it was work I enjoyed. And obviously, maybe it didn't bug him back then, but now it does. And I think that is because he just never expected 12 years later for people to still be madly in love with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Trevor Philips, the character. And yes, when he has people approach him and they're, calling him Trevor by name, that annoys him. Other actors such as Ned Luke have said, bring it on, he loves it. But obviously, Steven Ogg, just a different individual, different personality. This leads, though, to another recent incident that just happened in which Steven Ogg was appearing at some sort of meet and greet alongside, I believe, Sean Fantano and Ned Luke. And when one fan came up and asked him questions about if he's excited for Grand Theft Auto 6, Steven Ogg was not amused.
How excited are you for GTA 6?
I feel nothing inside.
Really?
I'm not a gamer.
Really?
Yeah. So
Not at
there'd
all?
be absolute. I've never played video games.
Have you ever played GTA 5 at all?
No.
No.
So I feel
Wow.
absolutely nothing. Like someone said yesterday at one point, you should play GTA 5. I said, why? They said, because it's so great. And I said, well, one day you should read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. And he went completely blank.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know who Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky is? So there you go.
Shut the fuck up.
Why don't you read that?
You're
are
right.
Are you excited about that book coming out?
No,
Not
fuck
he has a
that
new
book.
I will look into it now that you
So
mentioned
See,
it.
it's the same thing. So
What?
That's true. That's true.
Books are my thing. This has been wonderful. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, let's just be honest, he comes off as a little bit of a douche here. And that's not him playing the character of Trevor, that I think is just Steven Ogg. And yeah, personally myself, I'm not a fan of this condescending response, and also his admission right here, I think I referenced it earlier on in the video that he had never played Grand Theft Auto 5. I just think it's kind of crazy, the fact that he took on a video game performance and never at all cared to see why it's so popular and so loved. But that's his choice. It's just rather weird for him to appear at all these panels, these interviews over the years, but it gives you a better idea about why he never really has anything to say and why he relies on his co-stars to answer, you know, questions about specific storylines and all of the events within Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's because he doesn't care to at all get immersed or even try it at all. And I find it crazy, but at the same time, I understand who Steven Ogg as an individual is now. He likes his books, he likes his art, and definitely does not like video games. I think from this little interview clip here, I just do not like the fact that he tries turning the tables on this fan. Like you can see in the background of this clip, he's at a meet and greet with the co-stars of one of the biggest video games of all time. Steven Ogg should understand why these fans are here and why they're asking questions about Grand Theft Auto. And it's really not out the realm of possibilities, or it's not like this random question to say, hey, are you excited for the next installment of Grand Theft Auto 6? They're not aware that he hasn't played Grand Theft Auto 5. And then him trying to turn the tables, well, are you excited for blah, blah, blah book? When it's like, you're not at this book conference. You're at a meet and greet with co-stars of Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, honestly, he should know that these questions are coming, and he's had years of people asking about GTA 6, so I'm very confused by this blow up. And shout out to Sean Venteno. He tries to come in and lighten the mood and try to end this before it turned into something much more. But his co-stars, Sean Venteno and Ned Luke, have been extremely vocal over the years about how he basically resents the character of Trevor Philips and the popularity that it garnered. And more specifically, in the last year or two, we have heard from both Sean Venteno and Ned Luke in viral interviews in which they talked about their disagreements with Steven Ogg, with how he approaches and talks about Trevor Philips and what it meant for his career. The first clip comes from Sean Venteno speaking to Dan Allen Gaming.
From what I've seen, Steven is kind of being Steven wants to be recognized as Steven Ogg.
Yeah.
He don't want you coming up to him saying Trevor, which is shitty to me. Steven shouldn't be that way, because to me, he was nobody before this. He was just a little actor he was somebody, but he wasn't who he is today. He was an actor. He did plays and he did his thing. But this shit put him on a pedestal so high afterwards. I can't believe that you don't want to accept the recognition of being Trevor. Trevor is a iconic character.
I absolutely agree with what Sean says here. It's just that I don't think that they're ever going to be able to convince Steven Ogg to care about Grand Theft Auto 5. If they were to, it would have happened a decade or so ago. And based on his rhetoric, based on his responses that he's given in the years since, he just does not care, and he almost seems like he wishes that he didn't get popular from a video game of all things. I would assume that Sean and Ned have had many discussions with Steven Ogg about all of this over the years, and they've just come to the conclusion that they're not convincing him to care. It's just not going to happen. And Ned Luke has said in a couple of other interviews, the following clips, he's basically just parroted the same perspective that we heard a second ago from Sean.
Fans are the game. Not us, not Rockstar. They're the ones who get me 2.8 million followers on freaking TikTok. Like, how did that happen? When someone comes up and calls you Lucia or Jason, you don't go, no, that's not me. He's a cartoon. Steven. I think that he resents being recognized as Trevor instead of as Simon or the guy from Westworld. And maybe he just wants to be known as Steven, which is really what it comes down to, I think. And, I want to be known as Ned. And if someone comes up to me and says, Michael, I'm like, I am. Let's go. Get your phone out. Let's take a picture. The reason why I have what I have is because I'm Michael.
Trevor's such a stupid character. Do you tell Steven that?
All the time. He doesn't even know who Trevor is.
Yeah.
This is the most non-gaming guy you ever saw in your life. How do you like your character? Which character? You talking about Simon? I would rather read a book. Don't care about the character, don't like cartoons. I'd rather read a book. Maybe go look at some art, a little street art. I saw some street art out there the other day. It was beautiful. Took some pictures of it. I was naked.
You see this in the interview clips from both Sean and Ned, and it's the acknowledgement that Steven Ogg just doesn't like to be, referenced to a video game character, a cartoon character. It's that outdated perspective about video games. Like, it's almost an insult to Steven Ogg to be mentioned in that same conversation. Like, I can't be Trevor, it's a cartoon. But that's just so outdated, and it's really a misunderstanding of this medium as a whole. But then again, it's coming from somebody who does not care about this medium at all, and is almost dismay and annoyance that he ever got popular from this medium. And actually, just a number of months ago, Steven Ogg did another interview, and this time the question of does he hate Trevor Philips came up, and his response, well, here it is.
Like, I know for a while with the video game, with GTA, everyone was saying like, oh, he hates being called Trevor, and because I probably said to someone, well, my name's not Trevor. Like, it just couldn't be. Because
right.
My name is Steven.
Right.
And even if in, like, okay, The Walking Dead, Simon, okay, that, when people call you by your character name, it's kind of weird because I kind of get it, but I'm also kind of like, meh. But then to be a cartoon, like video game character cartoon, like there's just no way I could be a cartoon. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can't fathom it. So I'm sure at some point I was like, what are you fucking talking about? And then it became this thing of he hates Trevor, he hates GTA. Don't call him Trevor, he'll freak out. It's great just character. He's awesome. And like, I was still, Sean and Ned were friends, and we were just doing a Comic-Con this past weekend.
And while this response from Steven Ogg was supposed to provide clarity, I don't think it really did that. All it showed was that the literal sense of a video game character, he can't see himself as that, so he doesn't like being called it. It's a little bizarre to me, but then again, somebody who does not understand this medium, this is probably a logical response, especially for somebody that is a little bit older. But at the same time, he goes on to add that he still loves the character, but I just don't agree with that either. He has shown that he doesn't care about this character. He doesn't have respect for the character because he never chose to at least understand it. There's more ways that you can understand a character than playing a video game. You don't have to pick up the controller. You don't have to do any of that. You can go on YouTube, you can watch clips of your character, watch the scenes from Grand Theft Auto 5, and at least have an understanding of why there's so much love. But he has said he doesn't care about any of that. He loves his books, he loves his art, and he seemingly loves his, movies and stuff. I fully believe that he wanted to be a massive movie star, a massive TV star. He wanted to be known for his role in The Walking Dead, not for a video game cartoon character. For Steven Ogg, Trevor Philips in Grand Theft Auto 5 represented a job, just a job. And it's one that has continued to bring him in tons and tons of money through all these events and stuff that he's done over the years. And interestingly enough, he was asked earlier this year, would he be in favor of appearing in Grand Theft Auto 6? And he gave his idea, which is the least surprising considering it sounds like he just wants to be done with this franchise completely. Speaking to Screen Rant, he said, it would be fun if Trevor appeared in it just to be killed at the beginning. I think that would be cool because it also acknowledges the fans of the like, hey, thank you, pass the torch, stomp Trevor's head in, and sort of put an end and allow a new generation to take over. And I don't think that that new generation taking over is in just the character sense. I think it is in a literal sense that he kind of wants to be done with this franchise and be left alone. Part of me thinks and kind of hopes that he's just referencing, the beginning of Grand Theft Auto 5 where Trevor Philips stomps in Johnny's face, something that shocked and really surprised everybody. But I don't think that he's thinking from that point of view. I really do think that he's thinking, well, this new generation can take on all of these, events and all of this stuff, get all of the love, while he can finally have the excuse to move on and have a concentration on things that he is truly passionate for, like his next acting job, books, art, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, though, I think people need to understand that all of these conversations, all of these clips, these interviews, everything that Steven Ogg has been doing the last couple of years, it's a choice. He does not have to take part in any of that, but he wants to. Just not in the way that his co-stars approach it, because they actually care about the GTA community. They actually care about Grand Theft Auto 5. Steven Ogg cares about Steven Ogg, and appearing at these panels, these interviews, these meet and greets, it gives him at least an opportunity to meet up with his friends, his former co-stars. Seemingly he still is friends with Sean Fantano and Ned Luke, but the questions about, you know, actual Grand Theft Auto 5 lore and all of that, he's just not interested in that. Like, I'm sure Steven is a fine individual, and even in the past there's been viral clips of him having fun screaming and, you know, yelling just like Trevor Philips would, and honestly you could make the argument that their personalities are very similar, so similar that I just don't think he would ever acknowledge it. But if you ever want to go deeper, have an actual conversation about Grand Theft Auto 5, he'll talk about some acting stuff, but outside of that, it really isn't happening. And I would guess that one of the big reasons why he appears at these events is just because of money. And that's a-okay. I just wish that he didn't take on these cameos. I just wish he didn't berate people. I wish he would just be honest and say, I really don't care about this franchise, and I really don't have anything to say. At least in my eyes, that would be better than the grumpy old man that he appears to be alongside two passionate individuals that, yes, all worked on Grand Theft Auto 5, one of the biggest, maybe most important video games created. Anyway, there has been a diverse slate of opinions about Steven Ogg and how he takes on these panels and these cameos and all of that. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or if you found any informative value. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.